You won't find this anywhere else in the world. Okay? I call this the Froll formula, which is FROLL. Each of these stands for one word. F stands for first. Is when you first meet your audience, your introduction. Have you ever sat in a workshop where somebody, the trainer comes in and straight away starts on the subject, okay, welcome, and then he starts talking about the program or this course, and you're still not even ready. You're like, I started? Have you had this? Or they come and say, good morning, everybody. I want to hear a loud good morning. Okay, good morning. Always shout at the top of your voices. And you feel like, I hate doing this. Have you felt this before? Have you experienced this before? I think this is nonsense. Or sometimes you go and that fellow or the girl, she's got a slide about herself with a picture of herself by the side, and then 20 things about who I am. And they use their pointer and they're reading one by one. I went to school in this town, and then I got 3 A's, 2 B's, and failed 2 subjects in SPM, O levels. And then they keep going on until the end. By the time they go to the 5th line, they're already you're already yawning. When is this going to finish? Let me tell you, these are all the wrong things of doing when you're starting, because you're not going to inspire people. You know how to inspire people? I give you a 5-step formula. 5 ways to start. Have you heard these people say start with a bang? When you watch James Bond movies, you know James Bond, right? Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan, these are all the great actors who acted in the James Bond. Now, if you watch a James Bond, you'll notice one thing. You don't believe me, just go back and watch any of these James Bond movies, you'll find one thing. Within the first 5 minutes of the movie starting, first 5 minutes, there'll be some big action where, maybe James Bond comes or not, but there will be some action, there'll be some shooting, there will be a helicopter crash or a car chase within the first 5 minutes. It's not in the middle of the movie, it's in the beginning. Now ask yourself, why do you think they make a movie like this? Why don't they just start slow? James Bond having a cup of coffee with his girlfriend in a cafe, chit-chatting. You won't see that, because that is not interesting. So what the movie makers know is that they want to catch you from the beginning, capture your attention. So what if we can do that with an opening where people go like, wow, not wow, but wow in an excited way. You're going to make them excited. How do you do that? I'm going to show this. Very simple. First, it's called the EQ. Enrolling question. What is an enrolling question? It's asking people a question for which they will say yes. Let me give you an example. When I start my Train the Trainer course on the first day, my 5 days course, I just stand there and I will just ask them, raise your hands if you like to become an awesome trainer. And while I say that, I will also raise my hand. What do you think the rest of the people will do? Let's see. They'll raise their hands. If you're doing something on financial literacy, how to become a millionaire on the Malaysian stock market, for example, you say, raise your hands if you like to make more money without spending a single cent extra, or without earning a single cent extra. Can I see a show of hands? And then people raise their hands. Now, it must be a question that people will definitely say yes. Of course, you've got to tailor the question to your topic and what the audience are there for. Don't ask an irrelevant question. So the enrolling question is, remember this, it is something that will make people want to say yes. When I'm doing a program for kids, I do this memory and study smart workshop. I ask the students, raise your hands if you'd like to become the top student in class. All the students put their hands up. This is how I get them. I get it, go like, huh? You know what's the response I'm getting? I'm getting them to say, me too. Me too. Yes, 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 I. You might say, but why ask people to raise hand? Why don't you say, well, who wants to become a great student? Or who wants to become an awesome trainer? Yeah, I can ask that like a rhetorical question, but I don't see their response. So when I say raise your hands, they raise their hands. That means, you know what? I am getting a bonding with them. They feel they are connected with me from the very start. The second step, we call this a quick win. You know what quick win is? A quick win is to tell people, why you? What have you done in the past that make you qualified to stand here? Like for example, when in my TTT class or train the trainer class, I just say that I have trained more than 85,000 people. People go, oh, okay. That's interesting. Just one sentence. You don't go on for next 10 minutes boasting about your achievements. Give them your best achievement, what you have done that will make them feel that you're qualified. The third is, I call it greet, welcome, and thank. You know, most people will put that here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my session. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just that it's so normal that almost everyone is doing. So what is so special about it? What is that people say, wow, that's interesting. See, when we do in this format, here we capture the attention. Here you tell them why now you say, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to my session. Thank you for coming, and I really appreciate your presence here. Point is, we are being a good host. You are the host, so you got to welcome your guest. They're your guest. So, but you say, if I just say good morning, is it enough? Well, not enough, because you got to make them feel at home. You say welcome. If somebody comes to your house, what do? Welcome to my house. Don't you do that? And don't you even say, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me for lunch. So this is being a good host. Remember, people take actions based on feelings. So you want them to know, like, and trust you. Here, this is the likability factor. You're building the likability factor. Make them to like you. And then fourth, you give them your own name. Well, it's very straightforward. My name is. And the fifth step is your credentials. Now you might wonder, what's the difference between quick win and credentials? They're very similar. Quick win is what you have done in the past that you have won. That means I've done something like this. Here could be what you have achieved, for example, your qualifications. What makes you qualified to train me? And please keep in mind, the ideal number for this is 3. You could have 20 things you want to talk about yourself. Please don't do that, because you're going to bore people to death. 3 is just nice. 1 maybe too little, 2 is all right, but 3 is just nice. Just nice. Tell them 3 strong reasons why I must listen to you. So if you did this in this sequence, you know what? Your opening is going to be something people remember. And most importantly, do you believe that the opening is very essential? If you do this wrong, or you come up with a very weak opening, or you don't excite them, or you try to excite them by asking, how are you all doing today? Which is an insincere statement, you're going to lose them. People are going to go into a mode of thinking like, oh, this is going to be so boring, or this fellow is going to be too much of hype, or whatever it is. You don't want to set a negative environment or a negative setting for them. You want them to feel excited. You want them to feel We want people to open their minds.